GOP allies admitted that Project 2025 was a plan all along, less than 24 hours after Trump's win was called. Matt Walsh, a right-wing commentator, wrote on X, "We can finally say that, yeah, actually Project 2025 is the agenda." But whether Walsh was trolling or not, Stephen Miller, who was in a Project 2025 recruiting video, was just named Trump's chief of staff for policy. Since 2021, Miller's been running the right-wing group America First Legal, the first of many organizations to formally back Project 2025. Trump also named Tom Homan, a key contributor to Project 2025, as his border czar, to carry out mass deportations. Trump had tried to distance himself from the unpopular 900-page scheme to rescue the country from the grip of the radical left, but we all knew it was his plan all along. The overlap in his proposals from Project 2025 and his Agenda 47, the myriad of Trump allies behind the document, and the Heritage Foundation telling us Trump endorsed it in a secretly recorded video gave it away.
He's very supportive of what we do.
It wasn't the left that got tricked. It was those who voted for Trump, believing they would never try to implement Project 2025 and saying Democrats were just fear-mongering. Just some of the document's contents include an unprecedented expansion of the president's power, a national abortion ban, doing away with environmental protections, erasing any protections for LGBTQI+ people, eliminating the Department of Education, rolling back benefits for veterans, and so much more. Those on the left have been gearing up to fight the draconian plan, but a professor of public policy and political science at Northeastern University said there's a high probability a large portion of the plans get enacted if Republicans control the Senate and House. We're now in the f*** around and find out stage of American politics.
These are internal training videos for people who want to join a new Trump government in the hopes of someday being kicked off Dancing with the Stars. But they won't just hire anyone.
If you've been convicted of a crime, you will not be serving in the federal government. Crimes such as fraud, embezzlement, and tax evasion show a lack of moral character.
Yeah, we'd hate to have fraudsters and tax evaders work for the Trump administration. Go on.
To obtain employment in government, it is not favorable if you have accumulated debt and filed for bankruptcy.
You might want to run this up the chain to the boss because it's starting to feel personal. No tax evasion, no bankruptcies, no weird hairstyles.
Donald Trump's plans for 2025 have all the feminists scrambling. Project 2025 is the backbone of America's comeback. Project 2025 isn't just a policy blueprint. It's the battle plan for reclaiming America from bloated bureaucracy, ideological overreach, and federal incompetence. The media and Democrats are desperate to demonize it, throwing around terms like far-right to scare people into submission. But let's be honest. Dismantling the mess of federal agencies and reshaping the workforce isn't radical. It's common sense. It's about making government work for the people again, not for career bureaucrats and unelected activists. Sure, Trump has distanced himself from it publicly, but the alignment of Project 2025's proposals with his vision is no coincidence. Its architects, veterans from his administration and Heritage Foundation experts, know exactly what it takes to fix the system. And yes, Democrats are panicked. Why? Because this is a comprehensive plan with teeth, a 900-page manual, a database of 20,000 job seekers ready to execute on day one, and an 180-day playbook to hit the ground running. It's not just talk. It's a roadmap to action. Let's call it what it is, a reset button for a bloated government that's lost its way. The federal workforce is overdue for an overhaul. Why should taxpayers keep footing the bill for agencies that are more concerned with woke agendas than serving the nation? Streamlining these entities isn't gutting them, it's trimming the fat and putting competence back in the driver's seat.
When Donald Trump won the election in 2016, fair and square, he said it was rigged. Right. He won the Republican primaries. He said they were rigged. He ran for re-election in 2020. Before the election, he said it was rigged. Mm-hmm. Then when he lost the election, he said it was rigged. He does not like elections. He does not like voting as a system by which we decide who's going to be the president.
Yeah, right.
When he was running for re-election in 2020, the Republican Party decided they were no longer going to have a platform. They abolished their platform and said, our new platform is whatever Donald Trump wants, we're for that.
That's right.
So if you don't stand for anything other than what he wants, you don't vote, you just put him in power.
Yeah.
And once he's there, nobody is allowed to disagree with him or say anything that he doesn't believe.
And what is that called?
That is what a lot of other countries all around the world have, and it is not democracy.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to get rid of the American system of government, and that means getting rid of a government that does anything other than serve him, and that's what Project 2025 is all about.
Donald Trump, in his rambling incoherence yesterday, I think he didn't know what they even asked him about mifepristone. I don't think he understood it whatsoever. But what I decided to do was take a look at my copy that I'm trying to get through of Project 2025. And sure enough, on page 457, around abortion pills, reverse approval of chemical abortion drugs, and stop the mail order use of chemical abortion drugs.
Project 2025 has feminists in full meltdown mode. Why? Because it threatens to gut the bloated bureaucracy they've weaponized for years to enforce their ideology. From hijacking education to demonizing masculinity, they've relied on federal agencies to push their divisive agenda. Now, with plans to reclassify 50,000 federal jobs, dismantle the Department of Education, and scrap the deep state, their grip is slipping. Their shrieking about misogyny is pure projection. Feminists have mocked masculinity, sidelined fathers, and treated men as the enemy for decades. But now, with Project 2025 ready to dismantle their safe spaces and demand merit over ideology, they're scrambling to stay relevant. This isn't just about policy, it's a wake-up call. Feminists are finally losing their free ride, and they know it. Let the scrambling begin. The fact that Project 2025 has managed to remain a focal point of the campaign, even when Trump isn't publicly championing it, proves its relevance and power. It's the bogeyman for Democrats because it represents everything they fear: a leaner, smarter government that prioritizes freedom, efficiency, and accountability over pandering to special interests. And let's not forget the brilliance of its staying power. This isn't some fleeting soundbite or half-baked policy. It's a meticulously crafted strategy that resonates not only with Trump's base, but with anyone fed up with government dysfunction. Whether it's reshaping the workforce, cutting red tape, or enacting policies that put Americans first, Project 2025 is the playbook for a new era of governance. The left's hysteria over this plan speaks volumes. They're not afraid of far-right extremism. They're afraid of losing their grip on power. They're afraid of an efficient government, one that stops wasting taxpayer dollars on pet projects and ideological experiments. They're afraid of a government that works. Project 2025 isn't just a policy framework. It's a declaration of independence from the status quo. It's the roadmap to restoring America's greatness, and its continued presence in the political conversation is proof that real change is not only possible, but inevitable. Let them scream far right all they want. The people know better, and Project 2025 is here to deliver. When Project 2025 launched in April 2023, it didn't tiptoe onto the political stage, it kicked the door down. Promising to dismantle the bloated, unaccountable administrative state, this initiative is the battle cry for conservatives fed up with bureaucratic inertia. It's not just a roadmap for the next Republican president. It's a war plan to reclaim a government that serves the people, not entrenched elites. This isn't another fluffy think tank vanity project. Project 2025 is the culmination of lessons learned from Trump's first term, a declaration that the next conservative administration won't stumble into the White House unprepared. The message is clear. We're done playing defense. Paul Dans, the project's director, nailed it when he said, "There is an impetus to really hit the ground running. No more hesitations, no more concessions to the deep state." Anchored by the Heritage Foundation, a think tank with Reagan-era credibility, Project 2025 resurrects the spirit of mandate for leadership, a document so effective it became the Bible of the Reagan administration. This modern iteration takes that legacy and supercharges it. Over 100 conservative organizations, packed with veterans of the Trump administration, collaborated to ensure the next Republican president will be armed to the teeth with personnel and policies to enact a sweeping conservative agenda. The proposals are bold, unapologetic, and exactly what's needed from taking a chainsaw to the Department of Education to reassigning bureaucrats to address illegal immigration, getting rid of American funding for the hoax that is climate change, and wasting money on so-called green energy. Project 2025 doesn't mince words. It's about draining the swamp, not merely skimming the surface. And the revival of Schedule F? Brilliant. Making 50,000 federal jobs fireable at will ensures that loyalty to the agenda, not allegiance to the deep state, will be the guiding principle in staffing. Predictably, the left is frothing at the mouth. Why? Because this project threatens the very bureaucracy they rely on to enforce their ideological agenda. The media's obsession with smearing Project 2025 as a far-right fantasy only underscores how much of a threat it poses to their power. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.